Yeah, no, Willow
Mhm.
Creek was cool. It was kind of like a Blair Witch, a Bigfoot version of Blair Witch, and I like Willow Creek, and I mean, look, there's a lot of cool Bigfoot movies out there, but
Mhm.
for me, like, I always felt that like the creature was always lacking in a lot of Bigfoot movies. Like they either went nuts and like just made it like this, homicidal maniac
Mhm.
monster, and then also just the look of it, like, again, it's expensive to put one of those suits together. We spent a lot of money and
Mhm.
hired like the best people to Brian Steele to play the Bigfoot, and
Mhm.
Mike Elizalde and the guys at Spectral Motion to build the suit, and it costs a lot of money. So I understand like why low budget Bigfoot movies can't afford a suit like that. But for me, it was like as a kid, when I was growing up, like when I watched even like the $6 Million Man, like that was a good Bigfoot suit. But I was like, yeah, you can kind of you can tell it was Andre the Giant, right? It
Mhm.
wasn't
Yeah,
Andre the
it was.
Giant the Bigfoot? You can tell it's a dude, and for me it was like, I think that my goal in like life and as a filmmaker, was one of my goals was like, I'm gonna do something where the creature looks realistic, and it looks like a some kind of hybrid man,
Mhm.
animal. And and I think that's kind of what we set out to do with Exist. And we were really proud of what we accomplished on that.
That face though, at the end, you really stuck it on the part about the everybody says it looked like human, they look like my uncle. And
Yeah.
then there's the Exist Bigfoot. It looks just like somebody that lives down the street.
Yeah, it looks like somebody that has been hiding out in their trailer for too long,
Yes.
cooking meth and doing stuff. Yeah, man, I mean, that was one of those things where I was like, I just loved the ability to go in that tight and still look cool. And I felt like again, Brian just brought so much to the role of the creature, and I was so happy with the way it looked.
And what you just said a minute ago, um, how much money it cost and the effort it cost to make the suit and the people and the coach to make it work.
Yeah.
Like imagine 1967 trying to do the same thing.
Well, and yeah, and that's the whole thing of like, again, like, and and I know that there's like people on both sides of, Patterson Gimlin, where you're like, is it real? Is it not? And again, like, even for me, I'm like, I mean, it can't be Bigfoot, right? It can't be, like, how the hell, how lucky could they have gotten, or whatever.
Mhm.
But, uh, but again, man, you look at that footage, and like you were saying, dude, like 1967 or whenever they shot that, it was like,
Mhm.
that's a pretty good looking suit. You know what I mean? And also, like, I mean, I know like most people like me was, on TV and stuff, you would only see the first, they would only show you like 30 seconds of it or whatever, but that footage continues, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
And just like, it still looks good. Like like they kind of follow the creature for a little bit, if you've seen the whole, unedited film. And it just looks good, man. I mean, like, I've had people, Lyle Blackburn, who does
Mhm.
did a lot of
Black cowboy
Bigfoot.
hat.
Yeah, fucking awesome guy, man. I love that
Mhm.
guy. He did like a talk on the Patterson Gimlin film, and just kind of like blew my mind a little bit about like how that you can see kind of like the muscles
In the
underneath the
in the in the
suit
thigh.
moving in the thigh, and then
Mhm.
also the idea that it has breasts. It's like, yeah, because it's funny, because the breast thing, because we
Yeah.
toyed a lot with like, should we put, should is the Bigfoot in Exist a man or a woman? You know what I mean? We were like, well, the only thing you could, I mean, it's not like we're gonna have his schlong, we're
Change
not
his
making
name to
a,
Big something else.
yeah, we're not making a comedy, you know what I mean? And then we're like, all right, so if we add breast, and to us, it was like, it would just, we just don't want to be distracting, you know what I mean? Like, it's, so for me, like, the idea of these guys, hey, let's make a Bigfoot suit and make a fake movie. Hey, why don't we put breasts on it? Yeah, that's a
Big
good
ones,
idea.
big swinging ones too.
Yeah, like, I mean, again, it's the exact thing that we were talking about before, where it was like, um it can't be Bigfoot, right? It can't be. But then what the hell is it? Like, what do you do with that? Like, what is it if it's not Bigfoot? It's a guy in a suit. Okay, well, look at look at suit technology of that time, and then also look at the film. Like, look at the version where that stabilized, the image stabilization that they did on it, and the detail of the muscle, and it's just again, it's one of those things that like why Bigfoot continues to like amaze people, and like, and just it's still like this topic that like you guys, people still want to talk about it and still want to like look into it, and so people are fascinated by this thing because of the idea that you don't know what the hell it is. Yeah, man, there's all these like, again, and it just looks really good, man. It just looks really, really good, and and like, I mean, I don't know much about it, but it's like, wouldn't like the people that made the suit come out and say, hey, we're the ones that made the suit and now hire us to make movies or whatever?
They could be at Hollywood if they can make one.
Like make you can make a pretty good living with that. So there's just a lot of stuff that's kind of, again, like I was saying, it's like, it really can't be Bigfoot, right? Like, we couldn't be that lucky. But then you're like, well, if it's not Bigfoot, then explain to me what it is. So